On today's episode of Watch Chair Go, we are picking up where we left off yesterday on getting Gabe's temporary daily back on the road. It's running terribly, and we gotta fix that. What is going on, guys? I am Watch JR Go, and today we are here with my 2004 Honda Civic I bought a very long time ago. And you know, it was supposed to be like a quick flip thing, but it turned out that Gabe's daily blew up, so we needed to get him another car, and this was obviously just sitting here in the warehouse, so I told him to take it. He's been driving it for a long time, and I wanted to do an oil change. So I was driving it to the warehouse in yesterday's video, and I found out that it was running terribly. Almost as soon as I got in, I was like, man, this thing is misfiring, it runs horribly. There's something wrong. And of course, it's it's early Honda Civic. You pretty much know immediately that it probably has oil in the spark plug wells. The valve cover gaskets on these old things love to fail. Luckily, it's a pretty easy fix, and I know it's one that you guys will enjoy because it's really rewarding for how fast it goes. Basically, you just rip all this stuff off, clean everything up, swap out the valve cover gaskets, clean all the mating surfaces, put it back together, and while you're in there, do a set of plugs as well. So what we're gonna do is run over to O'Reilly's, grab the parts, a valve cover gasket set, I'm sure it's Felpro, and some NGK plugs, and then change all this, and he should be back on the road for a long time again. So let's get over to O'Reilly's, pick up those parts, and start installing them. Just taking the ultimate O'Reilly's. Oh yeah, we're in the angry Ultima, that's what it is. And here we go. Later, Trish, or whoever's in the costume. All right, we got everything we need. Go ahead. To wrap this thing up, we've got some NGK 7100s for spark plugs, some platinums, and the valve cover gasket set for a 1.7. That's the VS 5606R. So I know we've installed quite a few of that valve cover set before. Time to do another one. And we are back. Let's shred this thing. See just how fast we can get it all apart. I think it'll just take a few minutes here. Pop each coil. Don't hear anything in there. I could hear the oil in this one. You can totally hear the oil. Down in the well, it's so common on these things, you just call them oil wells instead of spark plug wells. Got some goo on it, but no oil. A little bit of oil, ton of oil, and a little bit of oil. All these tins. Somebody tighten that. Oh, so much oil is going through the seal too. That's probably all the oil leaks on this thing. These nuts have to come off. And I think that's it here. Leaking like crazy. And here we go. She's loose. That took all of like 1 minute. Got our valve cover out. Oh, what a grody mess. Unbelievable. This is definitely one of the worst I've ever seen. Time to run this over to the solvent tank and clean up this disaster. Actual sludge. Wow. It had a new valve cover gasket, so I assumed everything was good here, but looks like they neglected everything that mattered, like the spark plug well seals. Oh, that one's cut. What a mess. Okay, let's do these spark plugs real quick. Wow. That wasn't even tight. Combustion looks okay. They are NGKs. They have way too much dielectric grease on them, that's for sure. Just figure we'd do this while it's out, make life easy. Magnetic spark plug socket, also making life easy. Hand tighten a 1/4 turn. The perfect spec. All that's left now is getting the spark plug well seals out of here. What I like to do is grab them with the Knipex pliers like that. See if we can get a good hold on it. All the ruined seals are out. Wipe these out, drive the new ones in. We can reassemble. And just like that, we are at the finish line here. Make sure you put new grommets on all the bolts that go through the valve cover. And you just kind of push really hard like that. If you give them a little twist, it might go easier, but honestly, just pushing hard will get it done every time. There you go. Find something to push against to make your life easy. And spark plugs are in, new seals are in. We're ready to drop the valve cover on and just kind of tighten everything down. These are valve cover bolts, so make sure you don't bear down on them or anything like that. They usually require almost no torque, but you do want to make multiple passes because those grommets will crush. So this is just always a fun job. It's like the best thing you could ever do a valve cover on. This and a small block Chevy. Everything else gets kind of terrible. You get into like the Audis and stuff like that. They are not fun valve cover jobs because you end up disassembling everything around the engine to get to them. Gotta love Hondas for this. It's definitely one of my favorite things. Drop all the bolts. All right, there we go. They are all together. I'm ready to sneak in here with the valve cover. As you can see, it's been desludged, ready to go back into service for a long time. Also, I oiled all the spark plug well seals there to make sure they go on easy. So it will be a little bit tough to get around the wiring harness, of course, but we will get it done here. Forget what direction we're going with this. Probably this direction. Check everything before it drops on and send it home. The long bolts go in the rear, which makes sense. They have super long bolt holes back there. You can see them inside the casting. Throw your harnesses back on. This is all the fun, easy stuff right here. These snap together, just like that. A couple tins hold everything else in place. Got this one right. Bolt there, bolt there. Set the impact on baby mode. I've already cleaned up all of our coil packs here, and I went ahead and changed the first one's seal. You do have new seals for your coil packs in the Felpro gasket set as well. If you get new coil packs, they'll typically come with these seals, but change them out if you're doing this job for sure. They're seated inside the head of the coil, and this is not an easy job with gloves on. So take your gloves off probably, and then just slide on new seals, and then they'll sit all the way down inside there. And then just start snapping this thing back together. Just takes a few seconds, just like so. This one's already done. Throw it on here. Also, make sure all your spark plug stem seals went all the way in with the valve cover. You don't want the gasket sticking up out around it. It'll cause a leak really fast from the vibration. Here's the one that was full of oil before. Hopefully everything's still good. It's not like a failed coil. It was cleaning up while I was driving it, so I highly doubt it's got any issue. So we're just gonna reseal it, throw it back in, and if we see any misfire codes pop up, we'll know it's time to replace that thing. So last one. These look brand new. These seals are in excellent condition. So it does seem like somebody did this and just didn't know what they were doing, didn't torque it evenly or something like that, and that's what ended up causing this failure down the road. And that's the last one. Finishing touch. Put the cover back on over the wiring harness, and we are home free with this quick Honda fix. If I can get these things to line up. There we go. All right. All that's left to do now is start it up. Let's see what happens. Smooth. Yeah. Here we go. The liquid test. I'd say she looks pretty good. Little Baja Blast. Now let's take this thing out for a test drive. And on down the road she goes. The old 1.7 is hilarious. It's so underpowered. I think we're in like third right now. Here's wide open throttle. Oh, good times. Hey, more purple streetlights. They're getting all those replaced right now. Finally, they're all getting them swapped back out for new units. Sure looks cool. Gives us that 90s vibe while we're driving. No tag. Nothing in this car except a AM/FM radio, CD player, and a gas gauge and temp gauge. Wide open throttle. Downhill, so it looked fast. This Honda is back on the road, ready to head back to Gabe's. I'm gonna leave it with him tonight, and hopefully we never see it again. Hopefully it's sold after this, but I will definitely follow up with you guys on the results of the oil analysis and how it works out for him as a driver. And then we'll get back to the Sky. I guess you'll probably see it a few more times while we work on the Sky, and that's 12 weeks from now. Anyway, that is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to head on over to shop.watchjrgo.com for cool shirts, not like this. And please like, share, subscribe, do whatever you want to do. And I will talk to you next time. This whole thing's still doing really well for being 200,000 miles and an ultimate base model and crank windows, manual locks, no power, nothing. I guess it is my car, so I can do this. No idea what I'm shifting at, just listening to it.